The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture of the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day, he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Perez, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Ocon and Guan Yu Zhou, Gasly, Magnussen, Charles Leclerc. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Tsunoda, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Valtteri Bottas and Red. Latifi and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into Turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. Caution, caution. Overtake button. Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Pick up rubber and bring it home.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over then, and what a special race it was. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Carlos Sainz manages to take control of the championship, securing the top spot with today's points. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One. Race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but we still race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There is no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid we have Verstappen, Sainz, Sergio Perez and Norris. Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou. Tsunoda, Ocon, Red and Ricciardo. Magnussen, Vettel, Mick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly. Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then. It's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who is beside me in the commentary box today. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
They were able to deliver such an incredible result today.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
They are a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy spot on and consistently had the pace to come through as well.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.